Hi, kindergartners. It's Miss Elizabeth, and today I've brought you out to my garden to hear a story about Coyote. So I'm going to tell you a little puppet story today, and the name of the story that it comes from is Coyote Steals the Blanket. And the story was in a book by Janet Stevens, but before it was in a book originally, the story was told from many, many, many years past by a tribe in the Southwest called the Ute people. So here it is. Coyote steals the blanket. A long time ago, Coyote was in the rocks. He darted back and forth and wagged his tail and looked around him and said, "I go where I want, I do what I want, and I take what I want." He was bragging. I should be crowned the king of the desert. Just then, Hummingbird zoomed by. Whir, whir, whir went her wings. Coyote's ears twitched. "There's that bird again," he muttered. You're going the wrong way," Hummingbird said. "You should take the high road. It's safer." "Leave me alone," said Coyote. "I go where I want, I do what I want, and I take what I want." "There is danger ahead," warned Hummingbird. "Danger?" said Coyote. "I'm not afraid of anything. You can't tell me what to do." And Coyote turned and ran off. Hummingbird called after him, "Up ahead, there are some beautiful blankets. Whatever you do, don't touch them." "Why not?" cried Coyote. "Because they don't belong to you," answered Hummingbird. Hummingbird doesn't know what she's talking about, thought Coyote. How can there be blankets out here in the middle of nowhere? After a while, Coyote squeezed through a narrow gap in the rocks. He gasped when he saw what was on the other side. Blankets! That silly old bird was right, he thought. Those blankets are beautiful. But why are they draped over these rocks in the middle of nowhere? Coyote ran over and sniffed one of the blankets. "I would look fine dressed up in this," he said. "I could wear it like a coat." Now what was it Hummingbird said? I'm not supposed to touch them? Well, what does she know? Coyote put on his fine new coat. And then he dashed away. He felt great as he traveled along. "I wish someone were here to see me," he thought. Then he heard a sound. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Oh, maybe that's someone now. Then the ground started to shake. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Something big and noisy, said Coyote. Rumble, rumble, rumble. And Coyote glanced back. That's not someone, he thought to himself. That's a rock, and it's coming after me. Coyote ran faster. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The rock picked up speed. "That rock looks like the one that was wearing my blanket," said Coyote. "But now the blanket belongs to me." So he ran on and on through the canyon. Finally, the rock disappeared. "Oh, phew," thought Coyote. "I can outrun a rock any day." Rumble, rumble, rumble. But then the rock was back. It was coming around the cliff. Oh no, cried Coyote, and he dashed off. Each time Coyote stopped and glanced back, the rock was getting closer. Coyote tried to run faster, but he was getting tired. Finally, he looked up and saw his old friend, Mule Deer, grazing nearby. There's Mule Deer. Hey, Mule Deer, Coyote called out. Can you help me? A big rock is trying to crush me. I'm so weak from running so hard. You are really strong. You could stop that rock with your powerful antlers. I am strong, Mule Deer agreed, puffing out his chest. I will help you. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Mule Deer lowered his antlers just as the rock came crashing towards him. Boom. Ouch! Crack went his antlers. Boom went Mule Deer. Rumble, rumble, rumble went the rock. It headed straight for Coyote. Coyote dashed away. Oh, and away they went. He looked back. The rock was dangerously close. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Coyote's paws were aching. What am I going to do, he thought. Then he yelled back at the rock, I am Coyote! Go away! But the rock just rolled closer. Coyote saw bighorn sheep resting on the mountainside. There's bighorn sheep. Hey, sheep, he called out. Can you help me? A killer rock is trying to get me. I'm weak from all this running. You're so strong. You could stop that rock with your powerful legs. I am strong, Coyote, Bighorn Sheep agreed, puffing out his mighty chest. I will help you. Stay up, Coyote. Bighorn Sheep lowered his head, and he kicked his back legs as that rock came rolling towards him. Crunch went his hooves. Boom went Bighorn Sheep. Oh. Rumble, rumble, rumble went the rock. It headed straight for Coyote. Not again, yelped Coyote, and he darted away. It wasn't long before Coyote just could go no further. Help, he howled. Someone save me from this rock. Then he heard a tiny voice. Give back the blanket, Coyote. Coyote looked up. There was Hummingbird. Go away, cried Coyote. This is my blanket. I don't want to give it back. Then you will be running forever, said Hummingbird. I can't run any more, said Coyote. Then you will be crushed, said Hummingbird. There's a spirit in the rock of the great desert, and you have taken what does not belong to you. Now you must give it back. No, shouted Coyote. Yes, cried Hummingbird. No, said Coyote. Yes, said Hummingbird. No, yes. Rumble, rumble, rumble. There was that rock again. Help, shouted Coyote. I cannot see to stand an animal hurt, even a coyote. So Hummingbird whirred her wings with all her might. She created such a tornado that the dust flew, and the wind roared, and the rock rolled to a stop right on Coyote's tail. Coyote looked over his shoulder. You stopped the rock, Hummingbird, but now my tail will be as flat as a beaver's tail. Then give back the blanket, said Hummingbird as she flew over him. Then I'll fix your tail. Coyote pushed and pulled, but he couldn't get the rock to budge. All right, he said finally, you win. Here is the blanket. Now fix my tail. Hummingbird took the blanket. Then she whirred her wings again until the dust and the wind whirled. She whirred and she whirred, and with a crack, the rock fell apart. Hummingbird whirred a little more. Coyote's tail fluffed up again. This place is full of crazy rocks and birds, said Coyote. I'm leaving, and he dashed off. Hummingbird shook his head. That coyote, she said. Will he ever learn? Snip, snap, snout, this tale is told.